Yo, what's going on, people? Here we go, Giants. Here we go. We had us a weekend, I should say. Let me know if I'm good. Let me know if the visual's good, if the audio's good. Just give me a thumbs up. Let me know I'm good. Let me get the mood right. What's going on, good people? How we doing? Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday night, I should say, right? Let's see. Oh, man, we got a lot to talk about. I know it's a lot of happy fans out there, despite certain things that happen. It is what it is, though. A lot of people in the building already. Make sure you hit that like button on the way in. Let the people know that we in the building. Let the algorithm know. Skattebo, what's going on, Ed? Vauxhall in the building. I see you. 07088 is in the building. I see you. What's going on, big bro? Let's do a quick roll call. Shout out to Karen in the building, or Karen. I don't know how to pronounce it. Correct me if I'm wrong. My big brother is in the building. Shout out to Shamar. He says, let's go 2025 NFL draft talk. That's a fact. He also said, like, comment, and subscribe. Let's go. Make sure you guys do that. Remember, if you're a New York Giants fan and you're not subscribed to this channel, shame on you. But you can fix that. You can always fix that. My man DeMarco, what's going on, DeMarco? He got grades already. DeMarco beat me to the punch. DeMarco's Carter A+, Darter's an A, Darius an A-, Cam is a B+, Marcus Embo a B, Thomas C+, Corey C+. I like it. The Dark Friend, what's going on? He says, looking good on paper, but obviously the full impact we won't know until 2026. That's a fact. That's why I said it myself, too. Zay, what's going on? David Daniels, what's going on? He says, here we go, Dash. Can't wait to hear your take. I say an A all day. Listen, the cat's out of the bag already. I'm giving the draft an overall grade of an A. Absolutely. I was a little bit mad about the first night and what happened with Shedeur Sanders. But again, once Shedeur Sanders is no longer a Giant, it's no longer my concern. I'm happy he was able to get drafted, but he's a Brown. You guys know what it is. I bleed blue, just like you. He ain't a Giant. It's no longer my concern. What's going on, Pablo? My man Lucas is in the building. He said, what's up? He said, what's good? Big Dad's glad for you to be back. I'm so happy, man. I'm happy to be here, man. Thank the Lord for that. Oh, man, what's going on? Who are the UDFAs? I saw the list starting to grow already. I saw the list. So we're going to get into that, too. If I can bring up the list, I'll go over that. What's going on, Luann? Shout out to everybody in the building. Again, make sure you hit that like button on the way in. My man, I Am Somebody says, I believe we had the best draft. If I'm being honest, this is the best draft I've seen in like over a decade. If I'm being honest, correct me if I'm wrong. If you think I'm wrong, let me know. I think this is the best draft in like a decade. Real Cold G, what's going on, brother? Luann says, I can't wait to see the tight end play. I'm assuming that's what you're saying, the tight end play. Listen, we got a bunch of tight ends right now. Pause. That sounds crazy. Yeah, but we got a bunch on the roster. I don't know if this guy that we just drafted is going to get the snap. Something got to shake. I don't know. I'm not even going to try to. Is it not? Oh, Nadu. I forgot your name, brother. Nadu shot you. What's going on? He says, not going to lie, Joe got some big kahunas after these last two drafts. He been killing it. Yeah, it's crazy to me because I didn't know he had it in him. Those first two drafts didn't turn out the way we wanted them to be. Last year's draft ended up being good, solid. This draft, on paper right now, best draft I've seen in over a decade. Not even going to lie to you. Not going to waste your time beating around the bush. I am happy right now. So let's get right into it, man. We're going to talk about each one of these prospects. Maybe not the 7th-round guys because I'm going to be honest. I do a lot of college football watching. I barely knew who the tight end was. And then the cornerback, I had to look him up after we drafted him. It was a guy from LSU that I wanted, Zy Alexander. But the crazy thing about it, Zy Alexander, 6'1", 190 pounds. The guy that we just picked up, 6'1", 190 pounds, physical type corner. But the guy that we just picked up, Corey Black, Ran a 4.34. You can't teach that. No, you can't teach that. And he's physical. I like that. Ghost Dog says, He says, peace, salute, Dad. She said, how you feeling about this draft? Personally giving Chef Shane an A-. Listen, yeah, he was cooking. Joe Shane was cooking for sure. Yeah, I know who his name is, Luann said Fedoni. Yeah, all right. We're going to get into this, man. Shout out to the 74 people in here. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in. First off, Abdul Carter, right? Abdul Carter at 3 was fantastic. A funny thing though, before we get into Abdul Carter and what I think he can do and what it brings to the team and my perspective, shout out to Lawrence Taylor. Lawrence Taylor nipped it in the bud. He was talking that, trying to possibly get number 56. Lawrence Taylor said, nah, young man, you got to get your own number. What he said, no, my brother, you got to get your own. Lawrence Taylor nipped it in the bud quick, man. Oh, and I loved it. Because he shouldn't be asking for 56, man. He should know better, respectfully. I love the fact that he's that confident. He wants to bring that type of energy to the New York Giants. I respect that. I love that. I love it. But he should have known better. LT ain't playing around like that. You was better off asking Phil Simms. You was better off asking Phil Simms. Phil Simms probably would ask you for some bread, though. I don't know. Phil Simms, too. Yeah, I don't know. Phil Simms probably wouldn't give it to him either, but that's neither here or there. Abdul Carter, what does he bring? Abdul Carter is fantastic, man. He's a speed rusher. He still has some developing to do, but when you add him to the mix of the players that we have right now, we're getting right into it. When you add him to the mix of what we have right now as a front, I think as long as he continues to develop, because again, he's only played the edge for 1 year at Penn State, and look how good he was. As an off-ball linebacker, he was fantastic as well. So the biggest question people ask is like, how do you get all these guys on the field? And I brought something up. Some people liked it, some people didn't. I said, what about on first and second down? You play him off ball. The man can do it like Fred Warner. Some people didn't like that idea. Why would we draft a third overall pick off ball linebacker? I'm saying you got to stop being so shallow, man. You got to stop being so short-minded, man. Think about how good Fred Warner is. And just because you're an off-ball linebacker doesn't mean you can't blitz the gap or blitz the quarterback. You got the A-gap, you got the B-gap. So just imagine you got Abdul Carter blitzing the A-gap or the B-gap, depending on, the down the distance. And then coming off the edge, you got Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau. The same Kayvon Thibodeau that a lot of people are ready to trade already. And I told people last week, if we get Abdul Carter, don't be so fast. Don't be so fast to try to get rid of Kayvon Thibodeau. Giants picked up Kayvon's fifth-year option. I thought it was kind of strange when the news dropped because it was right after we drafted Abdul Carter. We got the news that they picked up the fifth-year option. I thought Tibbs was gone after that. I thought they give him the fifth-year option, and then they're going to trade him and, to try to come up in the draft. Well, we came up in the draft, didn't have to trade any current roster or any current players on the roster, and we still were able to get it done. And that takes me to the next pick. Well, first of all, some chat for the chat. What grade are you giving? I already saw some grades. What grade are you giving Abdul Carter at 3? Let me know in the comment section what you giving Abdul Carter. Shout out to my man Jay Ferris in the building. What's going on, Jay? With the $5 super chat. He says, how many weeks does Carlton last with a roster built like this? Who you talking about, Carlton? Carlton who? I feel like Russ. Oh, Carlton Banks. Good Lord. It almost flew over my head. Carlton Banks. Russell Wilson. I feel like Russ is a disaster and the Giants fans are lying to themselves. I see where you're coming from, Jay Ferris. I understand. I understand why you say that. He is Carlton Banks. Like I said, I almost missed that one. I caught it, but I almost missed it. No matter what we think about Russell Wilson right now, I believe he still is better than what we had before. And as far as your question of how long does he last, I don't know. But it's probably going to be a short leash, especially with the fan base feeling the way that they're feeling right now. You built up this defense. The offense got to be complimentary. That's it. So if he's struggling, I don't think they allow him to struggle longer than 4 to 5 weeks. I think that's what the grace period is if he looks bad. Now, if he looks good, I don't expect to see Jackson Dart at all if he plays well. These guys still need to win games. And the best thing for Jackson Dart is to sit there and develop as well, because he's not a finished product either. I love all the traits that he has. He will be able to push the ball, but he's still got a lot to learn. It's a big difference between, what he was running at Ole Miss and then what we're running here. That's a fact, though. Shout out to UJ first, though. I'm seeing a lot of A pluses. I see an A plus from Real Code G. A lot of A pluses. A lot of people are happy with this pick. He said Abdul rhymes with gabagool. That's crazy. Luann says an A until the season starts. My man Pablo says A plus for Shizzle. On paper, A plus. Shout out to Mickey. What's going on, Mickey? Oh man. A minus for Eric Johnson. That's the first A minus I saw. Listen, as long as you're scoring the A, you're good. Shout out to Chef Ronnie in the building. Chef Ronnie letting us know what the deal is. All right, so let's talk about this Jackson Dart thing, man. Some of you guys was hanging out with me in the live. Y'all was hanging out in the live, and y'all saw my natural reaction of the pick. Again, you guys, I'm pretty sure you weren't surprised. I wanted Shedeur Sanders. I wanted him. Pause. And we went with Jackson Dart. And I was mad that night. I was upset that night. Of course. Woke up the next night. I said, you know what? It is what it is. Jackson Dart is my quarterback. Went back and watched Jackson Dart again. I watched 2 games. I made sure that I didn't watch the Florida game because that Florida game gave me nightmares. But yeah, Jackson Dart, super tough. We like the quarterbacks to be tough. He can run the ball to a fault. He's trying to run people over in college. I pray that he doesn't try to do that in the NFL. Protect your shoulders. Protect that throwing arm, please. Other than that, yeah, I think we ended up getting the guy that the coach wanted, and that's the biggest thing. The coach feels a certain way. Everybody calls Brian Dable the quarterback whisperer. Well, he handpicked the quarterback. Him and Joe Shane handpicked the quarterback. They traded up to get this quarterback, and it's their job to make sure this guy succeeds them in Kafka. But yeah, it is what it is, man. Jackson Dart was not a 2025 move. If we would have drafted Shedeur Sanders, it wouldn't have been a 2025 move. But yeah, I like that we have the next quarterback in the building. It makes me feel better about 2026 because guess what? If it does not work out with Russ, you already have the kid in the building ready to go. He's learning the plays. He's getting familiar with the weapons on the team. And guess what? That's all A+ moves for me. So I'm happy about the Jackson Dart move. Let me know what you guys think about the Jet. Y'all already know what it is. Give me the grade for Jackson Dart. I'm curious to see because a lot of people weren't high on Jackson Dart. I wasn't super high on Jackson Dart either. But guess what? Once you become a New York Giant, I'm in the car. I got to ride with you. Shout out to my man Lucas, new channel member. Thank you for the love and support. I appreciate it. Make sure I get you on the outro. Put your name up on the outro. Thank you, Lucas. All right, let's see what we got going on. And Liz said, I had the same reaction. Let's let Dart prove us wrong, Dash. Yeah, let's go Big Blue. Ford Expedition. What's going on? 40 says Dart versus Sanders, future Super Bowl. I'm not even worried about that right now, brother. My man, that dark friend says the main issue with Dart is Lane Kiffin's system. That's what I said is a quarterback for dummy system. You ain't have to do it like that. Kind of is though. It doesn't help us. It doesn't help us out. It doesn't help us a lot to know how he can run a real offense and read a defense. It doesn't help. But that's why, again, we're not forcing him to start right away. He needs some time to develop. Let's be honest. My man Ralph Mack. Shout out to Ralph Mack. He says all we need is health and have a good record in the division, especially on the offensive line. Especially on the offensive line for sure. My man Corey Alum says, what do you think of Cleveland getting Sanders? You know what's crazy about that? They passed on him a lot, and they picked up Dylan Gabriel, and then they ended up trading up for Shedeur Sanders. So they didn't even wait for him to fall in their laps again. They actually traded up. They traded, and here's the rumor, though. They traded in front of Philly because they heard that Philly was going to take him and sit him behind Jalen Hurts. I am happy that since we didn't get him, that he's not in the NFC East. But good. I think right now, when you look at that Cleveland Browns roster, is Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders, and you're going to find it you're gonna have a hard time trying to convince me that he's not the best quarterback on that roster right now. I know Joe Flacco is the veteran, but Joe Flacco has 1 foot out the door. But it is what it is with that. Kenny Force, I got a 49 in the fan, says, y'all slayed this draft. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Real Coach G says, I'm not buying Dable as some guru, but we shall see. Guess what? He got to prove it. They handpicked their quarterback now. A lot of people, like I said, when they re-signed Daniel Jones, I felt like that was their quarterback. This time around, everybody's saying, you know what? Let's wipe the slate clean. They got their guy Jackson Dart. And again, what is Dable like? You saw it at the presser after they drafted him. He has a big arm, has the physical traits. That's what he's looking for. He wants to push the ball downfield. Jackson Dart does have an arm. He can throw the ball downfield, and he is physical. He can run the ball. He got to coach him up though. Pablo says, facts, Dart needs to get that Jordan Love rookie treatment like Green Bay did. Results got him looking like one of the top 8 quarterbacks in the draft. Absolutely. You never really want to throw that guy to the Wolves. You really don't want to throw your rookie to the Wolves. I'm looking at what's going on with Tennessee and Cam Ward. And I was looking at their draft, like they drafted Cam Ward, but they didn't put anything around them as far as weapons. And they did get Restrepo, though. They got Restrepo as an undrafted free agent. So that's cool for him. But I was looking at that. If you get a chance, look at that Tennessee draft. It's a little weird. It's a little weird. My man, Big Reggie 28, he says, what up, Big Dash? This draft was nice. Not going to lie. He says, after watching Gruden's QB class, Dart seems legit. I remembered his days at USC and then lost him in the shuffle, but he's nice. I'm glad I did finally watch the John Gruden tape. Somebody was criticizing me on Twitter. Said I don't like white quarterbacks. I said, huh? What we talking about? He said, go watch the Gruden tape. I said, I don't need to watch the Gruden breakdown because I watched Ole Miss play. I don't need John Gruden to tell me anything. But I did go back and watch it, and I was offended because I do like white quarterbacks, and it's crazy. All right, we got some of the grades for the Jackson Dart. We got an A-. We got an A from Lucas. Corey says just Dart. Yeah, for Dart. Luann says a C+. That's low. I'm surprised. Duran says a B+. Real Coach G says C+. Mickey X says a B. Was it Javi? Javi says a B. Mosley says a C+. That's what's up. DeMarco, what's going on, DeMarco? He said, do you think Dart should shoot it out with who's that? Oh, Jameis Winston in the preseason, or should he just sit? He definitely got to get snaps. He definitely got to get snaps in the preseason. But I'm not forcing him on the field at all. Not right now. Not right now. If he goes out there in the preseason and he looks good, and also let's just say that the New York Giants win some games by a blowout or something like that, and you want to put him in there to see how he does, maybe you do something like that, but that wouldn't be till like the end of the season for me. You went and got Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston for a reason. Don't go ahead and try to force this kid out there too early. That's just my point. Question everything. What's going on? He says the Giants killed the draft. We took BPA instead of trying to draft just for need. The good teams let the board fall to them. That is a fact. I will say this, though, when it comes to BPA, there's a little bit of need. Only the best teams can truly select BPA. Then, like for us, when I think about when we got let me think about it. It was close to BPA, actually. It was close to BPA. It was. Now that I'm sitting back and I'm thinking about it, we did need a defensive tackle when we got Darius Alexander, but he was also the best player available at the time. So yeah, they did a pretty good job. They stuck to the board. I'll say that. And that's a great segue because we're going to get right to the third pick. Actually, let me get this super chat first. Shout out to Dinkelberg with the $4.99 super chat. He says, Giants fan from Southside Jersey here. Okay. He says, been arguing the Eagles fans in Philly all day. Listen, you got love for me if you've been arguing with Philly fans. As much as I hate Philly fans too. One of my cousins is a Philly fan. Shout out to Mike. But yeah, I hate Philly too. He said everyone is worried about talking about Skattebo. They should be worried. I'm happy about Skattebo. We're gonna get into Skattebo once I get to that though. Shout out to my man Jay Ferris with the $5 super chat. He says, unfiltered as an independent, strong black man to another. Let us hear you unfiltered thoughts on what happened to this young man. You talking about Shador? All right, I'll give you some time for that. All right. I think after night one, people still were thinking, okay, well, they didn't have a first round grade on Shador Sanders. You can still sell that after night one. You can say that some teams didn't like him, this, that, and the third. He's a second round talent. Once you got past day 2, second round, and the third round, you kind of knew something was up, and you started seeing guys like Tyler Shuck go off the board and Dylan Gabriel go off the board before him, and it's like Milroe went off the board before him too, and it's like, oh, okay, so now it's not just about the play on the field, it's something deeper than that. And then you start hearing the rumors today about not being prepared. Now, like I said, these are rumors. I don't know how much of this is fact. He was given certain workouts or he was given certain plays, and when he came for the visits, he wasn't able to do the plays and stuff. It became a big deal, but it was way bigger than football. And that's just my honest opinion. You can't tell me that all the analysts were wrong, all the regular people that had nothing to do with these teams were wrong about Shador Sanders. You can't tell me that. Not to the point where he's a day 3 pick. No. Is deeper than football when it comes to that, and I'm gonna leave it alone after that. But shout out to you, Jay, first. All right, where am I at? My man Ralph Mack says getting the dark jersey when they have them, the all white. We got to talk about these jerseys too. Only got blue right now. Getting Sanders jersey as well. That's what's up. I like the support, man. I like the support. My man Duran says cautiously optimistic for Dart. Yeah, like I said, man, the traits are there. What Brian Daboll was looking for is there. The big arm, the athletic ability. No, he's not 6'4" and 250 pounds like Josh Allen, but he can get the job done. He's 6'2", 220 pounds. But yeah, I don't expect him to be like a Josh Allen fresh out the gate. Josh Allen wasn't even Josh Allen fresh out the gate. They got to work with this guy. And one thing that Josh Allen didn't have a quarterback in front of him that could allow him to sit, because he went through a lot of bumps and bruises those first 2 years in Buffalo. It took him a while to be the Josh Allen that we know right now. So give him some time. Give him some time. So let's get to that third pick now. This pick I was very, very excited about. Round 3, we got the defensive tackle out of Toledo, Darius Alexander. What I've been saying it for months now. I was saying it last year that we can't stop the run. We talk about pass rush, we talk about getting to the quarterback, getting pressure on the quarterback, but none of that matters if you can't stop the run first. You want to get people into third and long, that way you can let the dogs loose. You got to be able to stop the run. Well, Darius Alexander can stop the run. 6'4", 310 pounds, 310 pounds, probably going to be a 3 technique. You put them next to Dexter Lawrence. His run defense grade was in the 90s. His pass defense grade was a 78. His true pass rate grade was a 79. So you got a guy that's going to give you extreme value. I do believe they might not start him right away when it comes to OTAs and training camp, but I think by day 1, by the season opener, he's going to be the starter next to Dexter Lawrence. It's going to be Dexter Lawrence, Darius Alexander, and most likely Chauncey Golston on that defensive line. And then of course your edges will be Burns and either a mixture of Tibbs and Carter, depending on what you do with Carter. But I'm happy with the guy that we picked up in Darius Alexander. He reminds me of Leonard, and we know how good Leonard was next to Dexter Lawrence. Leonard ran a 4.940. Alexander ran a 4.940. I believe Leonard has like 33-inch arms. Alexander has 34-inch arms. Like, the similarities are there, and we got a good player in the third round. I think they had him going in some mock drafts. They had him going as high as the back of the first round. I thought he was definitely going to be going by the second round, but no, he hung around for us. So I'm happy about Darius Alexander. So we keep doing this. Let me know how you guys feel. What grade are you giving Darius Alexander? Shane was cooking, man. Shane was cooking. My man Cody says, put some respect on Shane's name. He killed it. Yes, he did. He did it. He was cooking. He was cooking. My man Mickey X says, yeah, I wanted Cam Skattebo. on the Giants. That's what we giving them nicknames already. My man Eric Johnson says, "Hey Dash, did you hear the quiet when the reporters asked him where you had family at in the area when he said no? Nah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. We're talking about Darius Alexander. I didn't hear that at all. I missed that one. He got family in Jersey. Even better. Even better." Shout out to my man Joe Smith says, Giants fan from Texas. You in enemy territory, brother. Hopefully you are all right out there. And I'll say this too: the rest of the NFC East did a pretty good job. Like I think our draft was fantastic. I do think like our draft was fantastic. I don't even think our draft was fantastic. I looked at the Commanders. I looked at the Eagles. The Eagles make me sick because they get good players just fall in their laps all the time. And then the Cowboys did a good job too. Like I think as far as a division goes, I think our division knocked it out of the park too. Sad to say. My man Darnell Big Money says, Big Dash, best draft from top to bottom. I would agree. I would agree. The first 5 picks are fantastic. Fantastic. Even with us giving up a pick. I think the draft was fantastic. We hit a lot of spots that we needed to hit. Oh boy, we talking about wins already. My man David Daniels says, I like to win 9 games. I would like to win 9 games too. That would be fantastic. I think it depends on the offense. Because right now, hold on this moment. Sorry about that. He said, Dave, hold on, where'd he go? I'm happy with the draft. I'm still depressed at the Giants draft. MKM, you got to let it go. He says, I'm still depressed that the Giants drafted Dart. Nah, man, let it go. Let it go. It is what it is. But no, I think that, just the first 5 picks, you got guys that are either going to be starters or contributors. You leave Jackson Dart out of it right now, but eventually he's going to end up being the quote-unquote franchise quarterback. So I think they did very good. So, all right, so let's get right into this next pick, though. A lot of people were hyped about the pick that we got in the 4th round, Cam Skattebo. I was surprised because, and it's crazy, too, because right before we took him, I was like, yo, we got to go offensive line. We got to go Marcus Embo. I don't think he's going to be there at 154. He ended up being there, and we ended up getting him, too. But let's talk about Cam Skattebo, because that man is out here in Arizona State. I saw him play. Everybody saw the bowl games. So shout out to Cam Skattebo. We wanted a thumper. I wanted a thumper to add to this backfield. We got a thumper. And a lot of people are happy that we got him. Some people say that's their favorite pick. I see it in the chat. Some people say that's their favorite pick. Short down back, but he gives you more than that too. We saw it in the bowl game. He can also affect you in the passing game. He can be a part of that. So just think, you got your starter in Tyrone Tracy, and then you got a guy, Cam Skattebo, when he comes in there, it still keeps the defense honest because it's not just automatically a running play. Like, he gives you those short yardage, yes, I know, but you can't, it keeps the defense honest, keeps the defense guessing, because if they want to sell out and try to stop the run, we saw him leak out. We saw what he can do with the ball in his hands after the catch. So I'm happy with the Cam Skattebo pick as well. Didn't think we was going to be there. Shout out to my man Isaac Moore. He says, let's effing go, Big Dash. Shout out to you, Isaac. What's going on, brother? Javi ATX says Jones has given us PTSD, pretty much talking about us, still trying to give Jackson Dart some time. Some people are mad. And some people do have PTSD. It was a lot of years, 6 years. 6 years of Daniel Jones. Outside of 12 years? 12 years of losing? With a playoff appearance here and there. Yeah, there's a lot of PTSD in the Giants community for sure. My man Eric Johnson says Darius Alexander has family in Newark, New Jersey. That's what's up. What part of Newark, though? He in the wards or something? East side? I wonder where. We'll find out. My man Darnell said Shane might drop this draft today. This season, college be a good one. Yeah. Lynn says, agreed that Daves has one quarterback now the test for development, second one for real. Now I get it. They got it. They got to do it. Shout out to my brother. Says Nook May says, you killing this, bro. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate the love and support. How the family doing? My man NKM, he says Giants should trade with Cleveland for Shador. That's not happening. You know that's not. We got to get that dream up, brother. We got to give it up. It's over. We fought a good fight. We fought a good fight. At the end of the day, you give it up. You can't cry over spilled milk, and the milk is spilled already. You got to give it up. Trust me, I understand. I feel you. Pause. We got to give it up. We got to give it up. My man Corey says Skattebo running back Tracy better be on his A game, or Skattebo might just dethrone him. And was it besides catch a ball in a media conference earlier? We were told also throw the ball. Now that's cool. Now listen, Tracy's the starter. Skattebo will keep him on his toes, but for me, I really want to go running back by committee. Even last year, you know, Devin Singletary was going to be the bell cow, and then Tracy was just going to come in here and there. And then Devin Singletary, after those back-to-back fumbles, they was like, we're going to throw the rookie in there. And then Tyrone Tracy just ran away with the starting spot. Even with his own fumbling issues. I think they need to have a true running back by committee. I think it should depend on the teams that we're facing and the game plan, which guy is going to get more of the snaps, and also who has the hot hand at the time. You got to do something like that. Shout out to Big Bro. He says, Big Dash, what's up, fam? I'm here, not asleep this time. You was asleep last time? You asleep? My big brother fell asleep on me. That's crazy. My man Jay First says everything was BPA. Yeah. I had to think about it real quick. I can't argue with you. Shout out to Sean Jackson. He says, what's up, Big Dash? I know you definitely wanted Shador to be a Giant, but overall, how are you feeling about the Giants draft now? We upgraded our defense with Abdul, Darius, Skattebo, and Imbo help too. Dart learns. I'm happy. If you follow me on Twitter, you saw I've been posting all day. I've been dropping all the videos, the recaps after every pick. I'm excited about it, man. Again, I think Joe Shane knocked this one out of the park. I think we needed this draft to be this good. Again, it's on paper. But if these guys are home runs, we talking about the New York Giants actually really being back in business and not just, the season's over in October type deal. You know what I mean? I really do like this draft, but Shane Bowen got to get it together. This is on Shane Bowen. There's no reason why this defense should not be top 10. Some people even say the defense is top 5. I say pump the brakes. Games got to get played. But when you look at this roster, the names on this roster on this defensive side, there's no reason why the New York Giants should not have a top 10 defense. No reason. No, look at the front alone. We should be able to battle with anybody on defense, with our defense. Offense got to be the ones that put points on the board. But I think our defense can rock with anybody right now. I really do believe that. And again, it's this time of year where everybody's hopeful. But yeah, I really feel good about this draft. Like, really do. Shout out to my man, is it Joe Winograd with the $5 super chat. He says, first time catching your stream. Happy about Skattebo, the Carter picks. Really like this draft. Finally have some hope. That's what it's all about. Hope, right? Giants fans with hope. We usually have hope in vain. I like it. I like this draft a lot. And shout out to you. First time catching the stream. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that like button. Welcome to the family, brother. Welcome to the family, Joe. Welcome to the family. Kenya says, I felt we gave up too much when we had other needs. We could have got him at 34. I felt the same exact way. I even put out a tweet saying he would have been there at 34. Some people argued me down, and I had to think about what I was saying. And actually, I went back and I thought about it. They thought that he was possibly not going to make it there at 34. When we traded up with the Texans, right after that, the Rams traded back. And the rumor is that the Rams were trying to, stash Jackson Dart behind Matthew Stafford. So Giants got wind of it, went up and got Jackson Dart, got the guy that they believed in. Now, there's nothing better than when the GM and the coach are on the same page and they believe in somebody. Because guess what? They're going to give them every opportunity in the world to succeed. And also the icing on the cake is the 5th-year option. You don't get the 5th-year option in the second round. You get the 5th-year option in the first round. Usually when it comes to quarterbacks, if they're really good, they don't make it to the 5th-year option anyway. They're getting signed before that. So that is an argument against it. But again, I think that's what it was. They believed in the kids so much they wanted the extra year, and they didn't want to take the chance of losing them. That's what it was. That's what it was. Shout out to TD Mighties. He says, now since we drafted Dart, he said, what the F was Shane's son post and pick before the draft started? That is idiot stuff. Listen, yeah, it was bad. It was bad. He posted it on Instagram. It went viral. Then he made his page private. It's dumb. You figure Joe Shane is at home. He probably talks football out loud. It's not like he's running around telling secrets or whispering on the phone. His son probably heard some things if his father didn't just flat out tell him. But yeah, he shouldn't be leaking information like that. But he's a kid. Was he 16 years old? I mean, they can't hold water at 16. You know what it is. Shout out to my man S. Dresden with the $7 super chat. He says, move on merit. That's a fact. That's a fact. Oh, man, MKM. Dart is not my quarterback. I don't trust him. Guess what? I'll switch your mindset a little bit. You don't even got to worry about Dart right now. You got to worry about Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston. You ain't got to worry about Dart until Dart actually plays, and I don't think that's happening in 2025. As long as we're winning games, we won't see Jackson Dart. So you don't have to trust him right now. And maybe he ends up earning your trust. I mean, I don't trust him 100% either, but I ain't gonna sit here and worry about him right now because we got other quarterbacks on the roster that are definitely gonna play in front of him. My man Ed Liz says, I don't know how much Skattebo will play, but I like him as a player. He's a dog, not gonna just roll over if we lose him. Now that's a fact. We saw that bowl game. That man he got a lot of dog in him. He got a lot of dog in him for sure. Shout out to that dark friend with the $2 super chat. He says, I hope Skattebo bulls over Jahad Campbell this year. I was mad when the Eagles got Jahad Campbell. I was mad at that. I was even more mad when Ty Robinson fell on their lap. I really like Ty Robinson too. And it's funny because right after we got Skattebo, what the Eagles do? When it got some more defensive line help. I can't stand the Eagles, dog. I can't stand the Eagles, man. I hate them. I hate the Eagles. MKM, you got to relax, brother. You got to relax. It'll be all right. Dinkelberg says, Abdul Carter, a dog, too. We can't let him go to Philly. Now, I mean, listen, it was a foregone conclusion that Abdul Carter was going to be a Giant. Worst kept secret. Everybody knew it the week before. It is what it is. And you know what? Guess what? As soon as what was it? They said as soon as he signed, we drafted him, I think he unfollowed the Eagles. I like that type of energy. I don't know how true it is. That's what somebody said, but I like that type of energy. Let me go ahead and do that. Did I say Colston? I said Ghostin. Go with a G. Ghostin. Chauncey Ghostin. My man, I just said, who does Dart remind you of? I don't have a comp for him right now. I don't. I'll think about that and get back to that. I don't have I don't know. Dinkelberg says Jackson Dart looks like a Disney Channel bully. It's only funny because it's true. He does look like a Disney Channel bully. What was it? Spider-Man. Who was the bully on Spider-Man? I can't remember the bully on Spider-Man. No, don't even worry about it. That's funny though. He looks like. So I got a couple grades for Alexander. A plus. Where am I at right now? A+, C+ for Alexander. Yeah, I didn't talk about Tibbs yet, but I'm gonna talk about Tibbs. Alexander A. Dart is bringing the charisma. That's a fact. He got some swag though. Dart does have some swag though. If you guys haven't seen him play, you don't got to dig into like the all 22 or do stuff like I do. Just go look at the highlights. Jackson Dart does have some swag to him. He does. Oh, that's what's up. David Daniels says for Alexander said Newark. He said Newark. He said family in Newark, and not his first time in the area. That's what's up. Well, guess what? I don't need him hanging out in Newark too much. You know, there's some good food spots, good places to eat. I need you at the facilities, brother. I need you at the facilities. Get you something to eat. Come on back. Oh, man. Shout out to my man, Dwayne Murphy in the building. He said, I'm not mad at Dart anymore. Dwayne, shout out to you, Dwayne. Dwayne hit me up, too. He let me know he watched a little bit of Dart. He said, you know what? I don't feel as bad. And I appreciate that. You reached out to me. I appreciate that, brother. And listen, again, we won't see him for a while. He still got some developing to do. But, yeah, there's some upside to him. Let him sit. Let him do his thing. Charlie Weiss is high on Dart. Yeah, Charlie Weiss' son coaches at Ole Miss. So, yeah, they're very high on Dart. Yep. I wanted them too, Real Coach G. Real Coach G said I wanted Khalil Mullings from Michigan over Skattebo, but I'm cool with the pick. I wanted Mullings, period, because I wanted a thumper of a running back. I didn't think we were going to get Skattebo. Now that we got Skattebo, I'm happy with Skattebo too. He's going to give you what Mullings would have gave you. You know what I mean? I think so. I really do believe that. I believe it. Said the running back combo is nasty. That's a fact. Sean Jackson says, Big Dash, I felt even better about the Darius Alexander pick when my Cowboy fans I watched the draft with were pissed. Yeah. We drafted Darius. He said, Membo and Fedoni, potentially replacements for Neal and Bellinger at 26. All right, let's get into it because we done talked about Alexander and we got sidetracked. So I told you guys I wanted Membo or Bo. The M is silent. I'm gonna keep saying Membo because it just stuck in my head. I wanted him at the same pick that we got Skattebo because I didn't think he was going to be there, and I wanted to leave this draft with an offensive lineman that was still good. Membo is going to be fantastic because he has great feet and also has versatility. He did deal with some injuries. I believe it was 21 and 22, but he's been healthy for 2 years. He played right tackle. He played right guard. The last 2 seasons he played right tackle. 6'4", 300 pounds, great feet, pretty good hands, versatile. He has a mean streak. I think you stash him though. I'm not throwing him out there right away. He might be the future Neal replacement as far as a right tackle because we don't know what's going to happen with Neal either. When it comes to Daniel Bellinger though, you guys know I don't play when it comes to Daniel Bellinger. That's my guy. I'm a big fan of Daniel Bellinger. I think we keep doing him wrong because he has potential. But Fedone is not his replacement. Theo Johnson was Bellinger's replacement. You look at Manhurst. You look at what's the guy that we picked up from Denver? I can't remember his name right now. The guy that we picked up from Denver, the tight end that we picked up with the long hair, Greg Dosich. I think Fedone is just another guy, just some icing on the cake, a different style of tight end. You know, not as traditional, straight line speed. Help you more in the passing game. Not the greatest blocker, but a willing blocker. You know how it goes, all the cliches and stuff like that. But I do like it. I do like it, but I don't think he's necessarily Bellinger's replacement, but it is a contract year for Bellinger, so he might not be re-signed as a Giant. I don't think so. They're not playing him, and I'm upset about it. Shout out to my man Big Blue in the Bronx. Shout out to if you're not following Big Blue in the Bronx, make sure you do that. Shout out to my man Alex, doing great things over there on the Big Blue in the Bronx channel. The man has press passes. He's at the post games. He's asking questions to the coaches and the players and the GMs and stuff like that. He's at the Senior Bowl. If you're not following Big Blue in the Bronx, make sure you go ahead and do that. Shout out to my little brother Alex, man. What's going on, Alex? Hope everything's going good with you, brother. My man Dwayne Murphy says Skattebo could be our version of Kyle Juszczyk. I got another name for you. If you guys, hopefully you guys remember because he did play for the Giants, but you know he became popular with the Browns. Peyton Hillis. And I didn't think about that. Somebody else told me that today. Shout out to my man Stas because he called me and said, you know what, Skattebo reminds me of Peyton Hillis. And I had to think about it. And I said, yeah, I get it. I see that. And yes, he does. Peyton Hillis might have been a little bit taller, a lot of bit taller, but Peyton Hillis, let me know what you guys think about that. Skattebo, does he remind you of Peyton Hillis? For the people that remember Peyton Hillis, we talking 12 years ago or something like that. He did make a Madden cover, though. Peyton Hillis. Go ahead and Google that. Go ahead and Google Peyton Hillis. My man Jacob, what's going on, Jacob? Another Giants content creator. Make sure you put your Instagram channel in the chat so people can follow you and find you on Instagram. He says, I love the draft. Dart is the future. Dart is the future, and Carter and Alexander make our D-line one of the best in the league. I'm not going to argue against that. I believe that as well. And yeah, there's no reason. There's no reason why Shane Bowen. Like I'm looking at Shane Bowen like, what else do you need? What else do you need? Don't mess this up. Don't mess this up. I'm loving this defense right now, man. I'm loving it. My man Dwayne Murphy says Dart said his dream is to train with Jameis Winston. Okay. I'm not gonna lie, I like this kid. He's got swag that DJ never listen. Jackson Dart, well, let me reverse it. Eli Manning and Daniel Jones make Jackson Dart look like the wildest, craziest person ever, and he's not that. But he just got a lot of swag definitely in comparison to Daniel Jones. And we all love Eli Manning, and he was a jokester behind the scenes, and he's funny. But you know he was dry too. Eli was dry too. Daniel Jones was definitely dry. Jackson Dart is not dry at all. He is not dry. He out here doing rap videos, and you know he got the money sign. Is one of his celebrations is the money sign and all that. So yeah, he got some swag to him. And you know what's crazy? I don't know if everybody knows he's like that. Like his personality is like that. He's going to surprise some people for sure. Shout out to my man Baghdad in the building. He said we killed this draft. Absolutely. Absolutely. My man Born for Sports is in the building. Another fantastic Giants content creator. Also, not even just Giants, New York sports content creator. So if you're a fan of the Knicks, Born for Sports got you as well. I'm not sure. I can't remember for sure if it's the Yankees or the Mets with you. I can't remember. You let me know in the chat. But if you guys are a fan of New York sports, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to Born for Sports channel, man. Yeah, he does good things over there. But shout out to you, man. I forget, is it Yankees or Mets? I want to say Mets. I think you're a Mets guy. I think so. I think so. Shout out to Demon Time in the building. He says Dart is a gunslinger. That's the archetype Dable needs in order to complete the system. He's exactly what Brian Dable wanted. Did you see the way Brian Dable was smiling? Did you see the way he clapped when they called the pick? He was so happy and excited, he didn't know what to do with himself. If your coach is that excited to have you, pause. It made me excited. Pause. And not that way though. Capo 1974 says, "Go Big Blue. I can't wait. Ninth draft." That's a fact. That's a fact. Shout out to my man New York State of Mind. He says, "I hope the people can just move on about Shador. He's a Brown, but people still having negative hate comments is absolutely crazy." Yeah. Well, I can't speak for everybody. I definitely have moved on. Hopefully, people start to move on. I'm happy that he was actually drafted. I'm happy about that. Again, he's a Brown. Leave him alone. I think people can be honest now because there was a lot of narratives after the first round. Hopefully people can be honest with themselves and know it wasn't just about the play on the field. Let's be honest with everybody. Let's be grown-ups about it. Duran Osman says Dable is not dealing with Shador after dealing with Tony. I don't think it's the same type of deal, but I understand. Yeah, Isaac Moore says Gruden called Dart reckless like Evel Knievel. Yeah, if you see some of the play, he's trying to run over linebackers, running over safeties. It's not going to work in the NFL. It's not happening in the NFL. You are not, Josh. You're not 245 pounds, and also you're not built like those guys. You're not muscular. You're not muscular. You're built more like Pat Mahomes. Well, you're skinny fat. Like you're not really running over nobody in the NFL. Now, if it got to do with the goal line, go ahead, drop your shoulder a little bit. But I don't need you breaking off a 20-yard run and then trying to stamp it with running over the safety. Please don't do that. You're gonna end up getting hurt. He needs to learn how to slide and get out of bounds for sure. And I agree with John Gruden on the Evel Knievel stuff. It was hilarious and it fits. All right, let's see what we got going on. Where's Leslie Frazier? What is we want a different defensive coordinator, huh? You guys are crazy. Hurts for real says, can Dart ride his motorcycle over 8 buses? Probably can't. Evil Knievel. Dwayne Murphy says, have y'all seen Dart's overtime season video? No, I haven't. Between that and the Gruden QB camp, he won me over. He's a football. Dwayne, let me tell you something, Dwayne. It makes me happy because I know how you felt on Thursday night. It makes me happy to see this type of optimism from you, brother. It makes me happy to see that. Yeah, that's funny to me because we was in the same place, dark place on Thursday. I'm happy to see that you crawled out of that dark spot. Me too. A lot of people happy about Scat. Was it Youngins taking risks, says Scat. You know what's crazy? You know, this year we might hear a lot of boos in the crowd and it won't be boos. It'll be for Skattebo. We used to hearing boos at MetLife. Hopefully we replace those boos with bows and he's making some good plays. Okay. Let me see if I get caught up. So, all right. So let's move on. Let's move on to the next pick, right? I talked about Marcus Embo. And then after Marcus Embo, we did not have another pick until when? The 7th round. And I told you guys before, when it came to that 7th round, I really didn't know those guys, man. As many players that I do know about, that I did watch, Thomas Fedoni and Corey Black were not on my list at all, off of my radar. And it's like, for me, it's 7th round, BPA, maybe you drafted for where need meets value type of deal. We did need a cornerback, in my opinion. 4.340, I respect that. Physical cornerback, I respect that as well. And then we got another tight end. Again, I think we got a draw full of tight ends. When it comes to the tight ends, you know how you have, a lot of us in our kitchen, we got a junk drawer. That's where we keep all these tight ends. We got a junk drawer full of tight ends. Full of them. Just go in there and grab whichever one you want for the situation. That's how I feel about the quarterback room right now. Nobody's spectacular, but everybody's like pretty good. They can do the job. But I wish I can go deeper into the 7th round picks, but I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to you guys like I know about these guys because I don't. I'll leave that for somebody that knows who I know Thomas Fedone. I think he might be also a tattoo artist on the side, something like that. I believe Thomas Fedone also raps. I heard that. I don't know how true that is. And then I don't know a thing about Corey Black except for he ran a 4.340 and he's physical and he has pretty good ball skills. Yeah, that's what I know. Shout out to my man C. Sanders. He says Giants are not picking up Neal's 50. Yeah, no, that's not happening at all. That's not happening at all. It's a wrap for him. He is going to get moved to guard. They keep saying that, he's open to moving to guard. That means we're going to see him at guard. That's what that means to me. Hirsch for real says New York, plenty of sun in Utah. Well, I don't even know what that means. What we talking about? Did I miss something? My man, that dark friend said, oh, yeah, Ty Robinson was on his radar too. All right, let me get caught up because I'm way behind right now. Good Lord, I'm way behind. Let me go to, and I apologize if I get past your comments, but I got to get caught up. I am like 10 minutes behind almost. Actually was 10 minutes behind. Say go Yanks. Did Born for Sports say who he liked? Yeah, he said he's a Mets fan. Okay, yeah, I was way behind. And I do apologize if I missed some of your comments. Shout out to my man, Joseph Wilcox. He says, the Giants chant defense will be back in the stadium. I think so. Luann said, I want Wink back. Wink ain't coming back. You'll probably see Brian Dable and Wink fight if they were to bring those guys back together. It's just not happening. Not happening. All right, I think we caught up now. Yeah, we caught up. DeMarco asks a really good question. He says, what number do you want to see Carter in? Single or double digit? For me, I don't think are there any single digits left? I don't think there's any single digits left, if I'm being honest. I think the number 12 is available. That might be the lowest number that's available. 55 will work. If he's able to get 11 from Phil Simms, that'll work for me. I like 33 as a linebacker number. I think the 2 3s is dope with the dope, But I don't know. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Now, 8 is gone already. Javon Holland got the number 8. Somebody said 99, but that's too big of a number for a linebacker. If you're wearing 99, you got to be 300 pounds. I'm sorry. You can't be 250 wearing the number 99. But that don't fly with me. But now I do like, I can see him in like 55, 33, 44. That's more like a tight end or something like that. But yeah. As soon as I said that, Ford said 44. Now 44 is cool. It's more tight end to me. 51 is cool. I like 51. Nah, Jameis didn't take 11. He can't. It's Phil Simms. Jameis took 19. Armstead wore 98. Yeah. Armstead also. Yeah. Armstead did wear 98. Yeah, absolutely right. It's 98 still look weird on Armstead to me. It looked weird. I mean, it is what it is because it was Armstead. I didn't know any better, but 98, it's weird. It was a linebacker from on the Steelers that wore 99 back in the day. I think it was Kirkland. I ain't like 99, man, but also Kirkland was like huge. Pause. 55 was reasons. That's a fact. 33 gives me Patrick Ewing vibes. 44 fullback number. Yeah, I see that. Patrick Ewing vibes. Dope Des. What's going on, man? My man said, he says, Dash, Bowen needs to have corners pressed this year. I agree with that. Just think about all his corners, like even Post Adebo. He's a man press guy. Tay Banks is a man press guy. Drew Phillips can play man press, but he's playing in the slot, so he's never really going to be jamming anybody. But Cordell Flock can do both, but he's a little bit weaker when it comes to the press. I'll say this when it comes to Shane Bowen. Whatever he decides to do, build that defense to the strength of the players on the current roster. Don't try to just bring us the Tennessee Titans scheme up here. No, you got a different set of players here. Adapt your scheme to the players. Aaron Mason, I got some news for you, Aaron. He said he wants LT's number 56. LT told him no. Flat out. LT said not gonna happen. And I'm happy LT said that. But yeah, that dream is dead already. And once he found out, he said, you still the GOAT. The way he said the worst thing LT could have said was no. And LT said no. He still said he's still the GOAT. So no hard feelings there. No, my brother, you got to get your own. No, my brother, you got to get your own. You guys don't know that. I'm giving up my age right now. Y'all remember that commercial? No, my brother, you got to get your own. Talking about mixtapes. I'm old. Joseph Wilcox says Giants linebacker in the 80s, Gary Reasons was 55. That's a fact. I like 55. 51, I like 51 too, City Visions. Yeah, 56 retired forever. That's the best defensive player ever. Not just the best defensive player for the Giants, the best defensive player ever in the entire NFL. The history of the NFL, there was no defensive player is better than Lawrence Taylor. Not at all. Not at all. Shout out to my man TP Way the Giant in the building. Says Peach Dash in the chat. TP, what's going on, good brother? How we feeling? I saw you went live with your brother. Yes, I think it was yesterday, right? I caught the replay. I think it was yesterday though. I saw your natural. Well, I saw your reaction to the Jackson Dart pick. I feel your pain, brother. I feel your pain. I felt it. I felt it, brother. That's a fact. Oh man, it says Blake Martinez wore 50. I like 50 too. I like 50. But 55 for me, I like 55 for him. Nathan brought up a point. He says, I think Skattebo in 44 would look great. I think so too. I like Skattebo in 44. Well, he wore 4 in college, and that ain't going to happen. Was it Cecilio says, amen, brother. Lawrence Taylor goated forever. Yeah, that's not happening. TP, Where TP? Oh, hold on, wait, you guys are jumping in the chat right now. He says all I needed was some sleep. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I had to sleep on it too. I had to sleep on it too. I felt good in the morning, and again, can't cry over spilled milk. We got ourselves a quarterback, and a quarterback that the coach loves, clearly. Question everything says, can we stop asking retired Giants to give up their numbers? These people haven't earned anything. I agree with you, but I do have something I want to send out there though. If you played for the Giants and you retired before the 50s, can we unretire those numbers? Because in all honesty, a lot of the fire numbers are retired. A lot of them. And some of these guys, respectfully, have been gone for a long time. A long time. But I understand at the end of the day, when you did something fantastic, your jersey number was retired, you deserve that respect. But I'm just saying, we keep on getting, the NFL is only 100 years old. We go to what? 200 years of football when we all dead and gone type deal. We still talking about there won't be no numbers left. At some point in time, they got to start unretiring numbers or stop people from being able to retire numbers, and that sucks too. Solution says I have to give Joe Shane and company credit. They killed this draft. They did. They really did. Solving the race problem. What's going on, brother? He says, I know you hype. I know you hype. We got Scat, very good running back. Any chance he can play some quarterback if Dart stinks? I want to say no. I want to say no, but I'll say this, and I really don't want to say this, but I'll say this, because I said the same thing if we were going to get Sanders. If Jackson Dart ends up not being a guy, it'll be right in time for somebody else that Giants fans are waiting for that plays the quarterback position, and just so happens to have the same last name of a Super Bowl MVP, two-time Super Bowl MVP. Just want to put that out there. I don't want that to happen, though. I don't want to talk about that kid no more. We got a quarterback. We should not be talking about somebody that's not even coming out in the draft. Oh, man. Shout out to Dip the Tip. I'm just going to call you Dip, brother. Again, pause. I said it for you. Yo, that's hilarious. See, we got a good relationship going on, man. He says, pause, I said it for you. Who had the best draft? We had the best draft. What are you talking about? We had the best draft. I really haven't gotten the chance to actually, go down the list of all the teams. I like to do that just to see where certain players went, certain players that I watched, certain players that I wanted for the Giants. I'm going to go back and do that. But right now, we had the best draft. We had the best draft. Us and nobody else. God bless the Giants and nobody else. Oh, man. Best draft we had in ages. That's a fact. TP says, yes, good question. We need those numbers back respectfully. Yeah, we can't keep retiring numbers. It's some fire numbers. 14s retired, 16s retired. You know what I mean? Those are 11s retired. That's Phil Simms. That's still fresh for the most part when we're talking about the big scheme of retired numbers. But there's some fire numbers that we got retired. Pepper Johnson was 52. If I'm not mistaken, Pepper Johnson was 52. Pepper Johnson was 52. Okay. See, now I'm Pepper Johnson was 52. All right. Solution says Dart is going to surprise a lot of people. I think so. Dope Dez, man. That's obvious, man. Dope Dez says Big Dash, Dart will be better than Daniel Jones. He better be. He better be. We didn't survive 6 years of Daniel Jones for Jackson Dart to be not better than Daniel Jones. No, sirree, Bob. Shout out to my man Phil in the building. He says, just logged on. You have to be happy overall with this draft. I am happy, Phil. Very happy. Pepper did wear 52. Okay, I've seen a lot of Giants ball, man. I had to make sure, wait a minute. He was 52. Phase 114 says film on Jackson Dart looks good. There's some good film. There's some great film. And there's some ugly film as well. Now that he's a Giant, we're just going to concentrate on the good film and the great film. And hopefully that ugly film doesn't show up with the Giants. That's what we're going to do. There you go right there. Joseph did the work for us. Giants retired numbers are 1, 4, 7, 10, 11, 14, 16. 19 is not retired. 19 is not retired. 20. Come on. 22 is not retired either. 22. Drew Phillips got 22, brother. But 1, 4, 7, 10, 11, 14 is Y.A. Tittle. 16 is Al Gifford. Yep. 19 is not retired. 22 is not retired. Lawrence Taylor. 92. Unless you did the keyboard, you messed up on the keyboard. 92 is Michael Strahan. 45 should be retired though. 45 should be. Carson's 53. His jersey's not retired though. Aaron Mason said, "Let's talk about this pass rush. Let's talk ball then. Let's do that. Let's talk a little bit of football. I'll go through the comments. Let's talk some ball. What are your expectations this year? Last year, the first 4 weeks of the season, might have been 5 weeks of the season, the New York Giants were leading the league in sacks. And a lot of those was like what, 6 or 7 of those were Dexter Lawrence. I expect us to lead the league. If we could lead the league with the guys we had last year in sacks, there's no reason why we can't lead it this year, especially when the secondary is better. So let's talk about this pass rush. It's all related. I'm happy that we got a defensive tackle in here to stop the run. That's the first thing. Everything starts with being able to run the ball and stop the run. That's football 101, right? I think with the additions that we made on the defensive line next to Dexter Lawrence, even with the free agents guys, Ledbetter and the guy with the 3 names, and now Darius Alexander, you push other people back. Davidson gets pushed back. Jordan Riley gets pushed back. Elijah Chapman, who I'm still a fan of, gets pushed back. But if you're able to stop the run and get these offenses into 3rd and longs, there's no reason why on obvious passing downs, now Tibbs and Burns and Abdul Carter can get after the quarterback knowing it's passing downs. And I think that with that happening and the secondary being able to hold up, I think we should see more sacks this year as far as pass rush goes. Pressures, tackles for loss, all that is going to be because we got solid in the interior. So yeah, I'm loving what this looks like. I would love for Tibbs to be a double-digit sack guy, for Brian Burns to be a double-digit sack guy, for Dexter Lawrence to be a double. I think those are all reasonable asks. Now, if you want to throw Abdul Carter in there and he can get 7 to 8 to 9 to 10 sacks as well, there's no way we shouldn't be leading the league as far as our pass rush defense. I'm loving that right now. I'm feeling good about the New York Giants. I'm on the hopium right now. I'm high off the hopium right now. Usually around this time of season, I am always hot right after the draft. I'm happy. There's a lot of euphoria. But I really do feel good. I'm happy about the pieces that we added. And I think it's not just the draft, but the free agency as well. I think this defense, there's no excuse for this defense not to be one of the better defenses in the league. Top 15 for sure. Top 10 is the goal. And if we can get better than that, fantastic. All right, I'm going to make sure I get caught up on the super chats. I am. Okay. Shout out to my man, Side Guy Bry. He said Frank Gifford. I said Al Gifford. I don't know what I was thinking about. Frank Gifford. Thank you. TP Wade says, is Darius Slayton rocking 18? Yes, he did change his number to 18. Or is that a false? No, he switched his number to 18. He sure did. Frank Gifford. Thank you. Frank Gifford. Maybe I got him confused with Al Bundy. Frank Gifford married Kathy Lee Gifford. Aaron Mason says Burns, Dex, Tibbs, now Parsons 2.0. I don't even want to call him Parsons anymore. I don't even want to call him Parsons anymore. He is his own man, Abdul Carter, creating his own path. I understand why you said that, and I appreciate that though. If he can be that, fantastic. I want him to be that. Maybe 66 for Carter. You funny. 66. We ain't doing 66. Rick Torture, what's going on, Rick Torture? I know you happy with this draft, brother. Luann says we got the players, but do we have the right defensive coordinator? That's the $1 million question right there. We'll find out. We'll find that out like shortly. And I'll say this: the guy that we picked up from the Jets, the secondary coach, I think that's kind of like a backup plan because he was on the short list, to be a DC for a couple different teams. He got interviews to be the DC for a couple different teams. So, if Shane Bowen ain't doing what he's supposed to be doing, and we should know right away. I don't know if he's gonna last long. I don't know. I'm hoping for the best though. Cody says we got to cut Banks and Gray. That'll take care of itself. Final 53 cut downs. That'll take care of itself. I don't want to wish nobody's dream to end. Especially I was a fan of Banks. And fan of Gray as well. Banks gonna start though. Banks ain't going nowhere. That's a great question. New York State of Mind says, wonder will Bowen will he be more aggressive on the defense? He needs to be. Even last year, like just remember watching those games last year, and just remember being pissed off because it would be 1 week where he's rushing more than 4, he's rushing 5, he's sending 6, and we're getting pressure, we're getting home, and the defense looks good, and then the next week he's trying to rush just with 4, and we getting dog walked up and down the field. He has to be more aggressive. I understand he likes that soft zone. And usually that soft zone works if your 4 can get home. We couldn't get home. So he needs to, again, he was still running the Tennessee Titans defense with the New York Giants personnel last year. That's why Bobby Okereke looked the way that he looked. Looked like he fell off the map. Because Shane Bowen was running that Tennessee Titans defense in New York with New York Giants players. He got some soul searching to do. He needs to be more creative because we don't have a regular roster now. Usually, okay, I got 2 edge rushers and I got a rotation. No, you got Tibbs, you got Burns, you got Abdul Carter. Somehow, some way, I need to see all 3 of these guys on the field often together. It's going to take some creativity to do that. Some people say, the easy solution to that is, well, either Micah McFadden or Bobby Okereke is getting replaced by Abdul Carter. Certain packages, Micah McFadden comes off the field on certain packages anyway. But I'm just talking about in your base defense. I don't want Abdul Carter coming off the bench as a rotational guy. I want him on the field. We picked him at 3 for a reason. Dex had more than 9 sacks. Oh, in the first 7 games. There you go. I thought you said he had to say. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Dex had 9 sacks in the first 7 games. He was cooking. And now he got a lot of help around him. Dexter Lawrence is going to have himself a year. I want Dexter Lawrence to get the Defensive Player of the Year. And I don't want any more all-pro snubs for Dexter Lawrence. The only reason why Dexter Lawrence is getting snubbed right now is because the Giants were trash. If we were better, Dexter Lawrence would be up there with the Defensive Player of the Year. And I think that, with the surroundings that we have right now, I think that helps Dexter Lawrence a lot. And if we're winning games, Dexter Lawrence's name should be definitely at the top of that list as far as Defensive Player of the Year for sure. And hopefully we get the Rookie Defensive Player of the Year as well with Abdul Carter. Show Intelligence says, I hope Kayvon is a team captain. Last year Brian Burns got the C. Dexter got the C. I think Bobby O got the C. It's gonna be tough for Kayvon to get that captain, that C on his chest. It's gonna be a little hard. Yeah, James O'Keefe says LeVar Arrington also wore 55 for that cup of coffee. Listen, I was hyped when we got LeVar Arrington, and it was over fast. It was over fast. Who was the other guy we got? The guy from Tennessee, Bullock. Keith Bullock was another guy. I think he wore 55 too. Or what? Maybe. I don't know. But he also had a cup of coffee here. And remember that time we kept on getting like older linebackers here? Remember we got John Beeson and we were hyped for John Beeson, and that lasted, what, two years or something like that? Yeah, we were starving for linebackers for a long time. My man Baghdad says this defense should definitely give our offense more opportunities. Hope this DC don't screw this up. Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Shout out to my man Bookend Tackles in the building. He says, but I don't think we see Dart this year. No, we're not going to see Dart this year. I don't think it's going to happen. If we see Dart this year, that means we've been trash, and Russell Wilson is trash. I don't want to see that. I don't want to be hyped, and I don't want to waste no more good years of Dexter Lawrence. I want to be competitors. I want to compete. I want us to be good. I don't waste any more. I don't need Dexter Lawrence to wake up one morning and feel like Myles Garrett and write a letter to the city of New York talking about, I did my best, but I guess my best wasn't good enough type deal. And write us a Dear John letter, showing my age again. Some of y'all don't even know what that means. Good Lord, Dear John letter. We already know. That was also a show that came on when I was a kid. It was time to go to sleep when you heard that intro come on. Just like MASH. It's time to turn the TV off. MASH is on. Go to sleep. Right now, the only eligible the only eligible quarterback number right now is 12. That's it. Tay Banks got 2 now. Russell Wilson got 3. Yeah, the only eligible quarterback number right now is 12, unless Dart gonna throw some money at Deontay Banks for that number 2. And Deontay Banks just got the number 2. He should have never. I guess he had to. Tay Banks gonna have to come up off that number, I think, man. I don't know. Maybe not this year, but whenever Dart is the starter, I want to see Dart in that too. Okay, my man Joseph came back with the official list. Obviously, Malik Neighbors had wore one for Flaherty last year, but it's 4, 7, 10, 11, 14, 16, 32, 40, 42, 50. You see how many numbers we're talking about. 56, 92. That's a lot of retired numbers. A lot. And Harry Carson, I don't know how, whatever. Hall of Famer too. Come on. Says, what do I think about Isaiah Bond if cases are dismissed? Well, we just got one of the UDFAs we picked up was Tay Felton from Virginia Tech. 6'4". Is he 6'4", 6'5"? That's who we picked up as a UDFA. That's what I saw. I haven't seen the official list yet. They're still working on that. I don't think they bring any extra drama to the building. Before the unfortunate passing of Kyron Lacey, that was one person that also was dealing with a case that I would love to reunite with Malik Neighbors, being that was his teammate at LSU. But I don't know. I like Isaiah Bond, but I don't think the Giants want to deal with anything right now. It sucks too, man. So it's always bad when they got to deal with these issues when they should be just being NFL players. What's going on, Greg? He says Bowen got to go, bro. Listen, I'm giving him. Trust me. At the end of this season, I wanted to throw Shane Bowen in the Hudson. I want to throw him in the Hudson. They ended up getting rid of Jerome Henderson, and they kept Shane Bowen. I'm giving Bowen about a 5-game leash before I start complaining about him. Actually, I'm lying because if we look bad 2 straight weeks, I'm probably going to be calling for that man to be fired. Forgive me, Lord. Yeah. Defense got to hit the ground running. My man Dip says, looking at our defense on paper, what's the best defense to run? It's still a 3-4. It's still going to be the 3-4 because our edges are 3-4 edges. We don't have 4-3 defensive end style edge guys. Too small. Brian Burns is too small to be a 4-3. Tibbs, I can see Oregon. He did it. He had his hand in the dirt in Oregon, but outside of that, we don't have the personnel to run a 4-3 right now. Can't do it. My man Jacob, what's going on, Jacob? Said, what's up, Dash? What's going on, Jacob? Demon Time, bringing us back to reality. Hitting us with some cold water. He says, Demon Time, well, Demon Time says the O-line is still very questionable. And he's laughing at that. That ain't funny, Demon Time. It's not funny. You brought the cloud to the parade, brother. Nah, we do need to address the offensive line, but I think it's more about being healthy. I do like Marcus Imbo. I think eventually he's going to be the starting right tackle. Some people have him predicted to be a guard. I think he's not strong enough to be the guard right now, but he does have the feet to be a good tackle. And it's all about the development of JMS. I like Jake Kubas. Runyon's still young. Andrew Thomas is the biggest question mark. He needs to stay healthy. And Illuminor's 29, and he could probably play another 4 years. So it's all about health when it comes to this offensive line, because I do believe with better quarterback play, like better quarterback play also helps the offensive line, just like the offensive line helps the quarterback helps the offensive line. We heard that in a lot of debates when it came to Shedeur Sanders. Said, Shedeur was taking sacks. Well, if you got better quarterback play and you're not taking sacks, you're making quicker decisions with the ball, which I think Russ can do that. I think the offensive line looks better just with better quarterback play. And also, let's keep on improving and let's stay healthy. Born for Sports says, I wish Spags was still our coordinator. He would make sure the D-line would eat. Yeah. Yeah. That's high hopes, man. But yeah, I would love it. Young Rule Official says, love your channel, bro. I appreciate that. Thank you for the love and support, man. Thank you for the love and support. I appreciate you. Phil says, Dash, I live in AZ and watch ASU. Skattebo is legit, dog. You're going to love him. I hope so. Listen, I knew about him, but I didn't know about him. If you understand what I mean. Like I heard of him. I really didn't watch too many ASU games. But then college playoffs came. I saw that one game. I'm like, whoa, okay. I see what it's about. I see what the hype is about. I went back and watched a few games and said, this is not just one game of him going off. He been going off. I like Skattebo. I like that. Dope Des says, Big Dash, do you think Abdul will be playing in the preseason? He better be. He absolutely needs to be. Why would you sit him? Why would you sit him? I put him on the snap count for sure, but he got to get out there and take some NFL hits. You know what I mean? He got to. We can't soft glove him. We're probably going to play Dallas week 1. They always try to do that to us. I need him ready to go. I need him to have. Now the question, the one thing I do hate about this regime when it comes to the preseason, the lack of playing the starters. I will say that we have a history of sitting guys in the preseason. I mean, if it's Andrew Thomas, fine. Maybe Andrew Thomas is the only person that Dexter Lawrence too. Outside of that, these guys got to play. They got to play. That's a fact. Aaron says Giants are getting back to how we won chips through defense and pounding the ball. Absolutely. DeMarco says, what about number 2 for Carter? I told you he might have to pay for it. 2 is a dope number. Yeah, 2 is a dope number, period. But I think Jackson Dart might want the number 2. I don't know if there's any kind of connection with Carter with the number 2, but I think if any rookie gets the number 2, it probably will be Jackson Dart. Probably. Yeah. And you said the same thing here. He said Banks has 2 for right for now. For now he does. All right, let me get caught up again. You guys are flying in these comments, man. Oh, I see what you're talking about, Lucas. I'm gonna put this up. Lucas says, I'm sick of people comparing Dart to DJ. Dart is a 5-star recruit that broke Eli's record at Ole Miss. And what did DJ do? He was a no one. I ain't gonna argue with that, brother. I'm not gonna argue with that. My man Joseph says 53 and 58 should be retired. Banks and Carson. I'm not going to argue with that either. My man NYG Frank said, Big Dash, God bless. God bless you too, brother. He says, I hope this works out. I'm tired of losing. By the way, are we getting a new intro beat, something more hopeful? Are you talking about the beat for the live or the intro for the regular videos that I put out? Let me know. He said, your current one sounds sad. You talking about the one right now? And it matched well for last season. Good Lord. Way to be honest. I'll tell my son to get on that. I need a new beat. I'll let him know. You talking about, oh, I know, because you sound like they're crying in the beginning. I got you. Somebody else said that too. It sounds like it's crying. But listen, I just put a new intro together. Same beat, but it's a new intro. I think it's fire. Oh, that's hilarious. Let's see. Giants loved the award. Yeah, they did. They tried. They gave up the package that they tried to send to Tennessee too. I think it was a first next year, and I think it was the third round pick is what they tried to send to Tennessee. Tennessee said, nah, we good. Shout out to my man Joseph with the $5 super chat. He says, we are going to have the 80s Crunch Bunch back. You're taking it back now. What should we call them in 2025? That's a good question. I didn't even think about that. Because I don't want to call them the Crunch, but I don't want to call it the Big Blue Wrecking Crew. I'm gonna work on that. Joseph, you work on that too. Let me know. We got homework. Maybe next week we come up with some ideas, some names that we can share and see what we want to do. Abdul Carter, frontline soldier at 3. Yeah. You mean number 3? He ain't gonna get. Well, Russell Wilson got 3 right now. If that's what you talking about, the number. Dart should get 12. Oh man, it's. You said it's fire. The beat is fire. I appreciate that. Listen, man, to each his own. Some people love it, some people don't. Greg says, no, your intro was cold, Big Dash. Nah, don't call Frank a hater. Frank like what he likes. Big Dash said, oh, the site is rocking. Nah, I see it, man. Shout out to the 211 people in the building, man. Make sure you hit that like button, man. I think what it is, and anybody, if this is your first time catching the stream, first time seeing my face on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You're a New York Giants fan. I'm a New York Giants fan. Let's show love and support, because I'm a big New York Giants fan. For decades. I've been around a while. Not like my OG. Not like my OG, Joseph, but I've been around. Danny Boy says, Dash, we finally got some dogs. That's a fact. The Fantastic Four. I like it. Dex, Tibbs, Burns, Carter, the Fantastic Four. I like it. Some people might not like. I'm a Marvel fan, so I like that. Let's see. We're going to wrap this thing up. I'm over an hour and a half in. I know people are excited. Blue Steel Crew, Ski Mask Way. I hear you. Fantastic Four, spicy, bro. Don't do that to that man. Fantastic Four, it is what it is. Said your current beat will go well with a Jadakiss freestyle. Who is it? The guy that made that beat was Kenneth English, and then it was a West Coast rapper that kind of rapped over that, and then it was I think it might have been Cameron. Cameron might have got over that beat too, but I had it first. It was my intro first before it was somebody else's record. Solving the race problem says, I remember talking about Skattebo weeks ago before the draft. Good call by you. Can't stop watching his highlights. Certified dog. Yeah, no, he is a dog for sure. He got it in him. Pause. He said Cam and Tracy are thunder and lightning. We got to get it back to Earth, Wind, and Fire. We already know what it is. Earth, Wind, and Fire. You guys are hilarious. Shout out to the people that were in the live on Thursday night. It was an experience watching the draft with everybody, going through all those real-time emotions and stuff like that. And you guys heard my family going through their emotions too. My wife, again, big Steelers fan. She was excited. She thought she had a chance to get your door too, and it didn't happen for her either. It was a good time though. We had some fun. We had some fun in here, and I appreciate everybody for hanging out with me that day for sure. New York Giants for life says the crazed dogs. And you know, Lawrence Taylor said it. Like a bunch of crazed dogs. He says that beat definitely gives East Coast NYC vibes, which is what you want. I agree. And again, at first I thought he was talking about this beat because, like I said, my son made this beat, but the intro beat, again, that's something I just jacked that beat off of YouTube. I had to borrow that. Turn it into my own. Now that's a fact. Sean Jackson says, Big Dad, I think you said your wife was a Steelers fan. Did she want the Steelers? I answered that. Didn't even know you asked that question, but I answered that. Yeah, she did. Did Aaron Rodgers make a decision yet? Now that the draft was over, Aaron Rodgers is listen, I don't like to talk about the Steelers too much because my wife gonna tell me about myself afterwards. She don't like me talking about the Steelers at all. She is no nonsense when it comes to the Steelers. Steel curtain, all that. She got the terrible towels. She is true to that. So I'm gonna leave it alone. Because I don't want to leave my studio and catch one. I say that respectfully. But now we're gonna wrap this thing up, man. I appreciate everybody for vibing with me. You guys hung in here the whole time, strong. And if I'm just being honest, I got to go eat dinner. I'm starving back here, but I am happy, man. I'm happy. We got some good things to talk about, man. We got what? Rookie mini camp coming in, I think, like 2 weeks. We got the draft. I'm sorry, not the draft. We got the schedule. We got the schedule dropping in May. Can't wait for that to happen. Can't wait to talk the schedule and see what some of those predictions are going to be for a fact. Like, I can't wait to talk the schedule because we already know it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough schedule, but I think we got a tough team right now. That's a fact. Thank you, Joseph. Joseph says later dash. Shout out to Dope Dez with the $15 super chat. He says, thanks, Big Dash. Now, thank you for tuning in and vibing with me, man. And understand. I'm a fan like you're a fan. You guys, you come in, I get to talk New York Giants football with a bunch of New York Giants fans. And for me, it's fun. It's absolutely fun. I love doing it, man. I love doing it. And like I said, I love being able to talk to you guys. And hopefully you guys feel the same too, man. I try to get to as many comments as possible. The channel is growing, the lives are growing, and I appreciate that. And with that being said, I hope that everybody feels like they're a part of the show still. And again, if you're not getting your comments read, just spam them, man. I'll get to them. That's a fact. I'll get to them. And again, like my man D-Dan says, go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and hit the like button on the way out, man. But we're gonna wrap this thing up. I appreciate everybody that was in here rocking with me for an hour and a half. We hit over 200 at one time. Salute to y'all for that. I know it's about the excitement though. There's a lot of new faces in here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, man. I want to take advantage of this time while you guys in here to say that the Giants content community is growing. Shout out to all the Giants content creators. I show love to everybody out there. Hopefully everybody shows that love back. But with that being said, you know how I end this. With that being said, I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows Big Blue Nation.